They're not always on your side, and you're not always in good hands. My name is Bo Williamson, and I am a public adjuster. I stand up for homeowners when they have insurance claims. Our headquarters is in Panama City Beach, but our fight is nationwide. Sometimes insurance claims can be through the roof. However, insurance companies don't always want to pay you. That's why I'm here. Living the Christian life and dealing with this crazy world around me, one thing I've learned is someone has got to stand up for the little guy. This is Insurance Wars.
Susan.
Yes.
What do we know about this appointment today?
In talking with the homeowner, he has definitely got the impression that the insurance company is on his side. Remember when we first talked about it?
Yes.
He was going to get paid.
So this is that guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
He was going to get paid 100% right away.
Yes. Didn't think he needed us.
And so he's gotten 50%. This morning, Emil and I are headed to an interesting claim. During Hurricane Helene in the middle of the night, this poor homeowner gets a call from OnStar saying evacuate the house because they've got an electric vehicle, and lo and behold, shortly thereafter it exploded.
All right, 5
grab
minutes
my
and then we'll go out.
Okay.
The lithium battery and the seawater started to mix, and once you had that chemical reaction, devastating. It actually ruined a 3-story building and was heard 8 blocks away. So that's immediately an unusual circumstance. An unusual claim, a devastating claim for the homeowner, and I hope we can do some help to them. There we go.
Tell you what,
Okay,
it's
here's
great
the
to see
house.
that they've got all kinds of people working here.
Yep, looks like they've started the tear out anyway.
That always helps the claim so much
It
better.
does.
So I've talked to the homeowner several times, and it seems that the carrier has offered him policy limits all the way around, convinced him that he's going to get everything he wants right away. And of course, we all know that's not the way things happen. And sure enough, that's not what's happening now.
Hey, guys.
Hey, I'm Susan.
Hi, Susan. I'm
Nice
Gus.
to meet you. Oops,
Gus.
I'm Susan. Nice to meet you.
Emil. Hi,
Good to
Gus.
meet you. And Elaine, Emil. Good to meet you.
So as you know, we had a couple hurricanes. One of them, the first hurricane, kind of put us out. And that had to do with a lot of water.
Okay.
5 feet of water came up. It came up over the fences there, got into the garage, put 30 inches of water in the garage.
Okay.
I had a Hummer, Mercedes, and a Tesla that's still roaming around out here. The night of the hurricane, we received a call from OnStar. They said, "Where's your Hummer?" And I said, "It was underneath my feet." And they said, "You have to evacuate the home." And I said, "Why?" And they said, "Because we can't tell you why. We don't know what's going to happen, but something's going to happen."
Well,
I
that's
said,
nice and vague.
Yeah, really. And I hung the phone up on them.
Good for you.
They called back again because I think it's a prank. 11:30 at night.
Come
I
on.
got water going all over the place. They said, "No, you're going to need to evacuate." I said, "Okay, bye." I didn't put much weight on it. Then my neighbor called and said, "There's smoke coming out of your garage."
Oh, joy.
So we heard an explosion, and also this explosion was heard 8 blocks away.
Oh, I imagine.
The Hummer's in this garage?
Yes,
What's immediately above it?
right above it is my son's bedroom.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and that was totally destroyed.
Was your son okay?
Yeah, my son's okay. He got out of there a minute before. So with all of that, I still think it's a hurricane that hit us.
Yes.
I'm walking out basically right here, and I look back, and I have 3 hurricane-proof garage doors. Those doors blew off the house and were on the high-tension wires and all over the front of the house, the neighbor's house, everywhere.
What do you want to do, Susan? Do you want to look outside,
Walk
inside? Should we take a walk around?
Okay, sure.
Walk outside.
Show us what you've seen here on your property.
Okay.
There's so many complex challenges in this claim. You have the manufacturer of the vehicle. You have a Hurricane Helene claim for flood. Then you have Hurricane Milton that came 2 weeks later. So we've got a claim now on the roof for that. So you have all these players in the mix, and the only one that's looking out for our client is Noble.
All right, come on in this area. This is where it all started. If you can have a look through here,
You see the
there's
sky.
a hole, and you can see through the windows upstairs.
Yes.
This is where the Hummer was.
Okay.
Okay, and this is where it exploded. and it went straight up. All this has been boarded up from the demo because people have to walk on it.
Hey Gus, why is this so black over here?
Okay, over here, I had 3 e-bikes all piled up here, you know, nice and neat, and they all melted. You could see the burn marks here, or the smoke marks.
Yeah, look how charred this
Yeah, and melted.
Yeah.
all the way up. See your flood line goes all, it's clear over here.
There it is. Yep.
All right, let's go up.
All right, why don't you guys come this way, and we'll walk up to the 2nd level.
The sprinkler system
Oh my God.
went off because of the explosion.
Holy cow, guys, this is tough to take.
Oh, wow.
So they've now ripped through the kitchen.
Watch your stuff.
Here is the room that had the initial explosion. We were standing right where this gentleman is standing, right there, all of us. The bed flipped over. It's like a 300-pound bed, an old Indonesia, beautiful bed. It flipped and hit the ceiling.
This is a huge claim. When the impact of the explosion hit that tile, it literally reverberated through the entire building, causing extensive damage, tiles lifted up, broken in half, things that had blown up and literally hit the ceilings from the explosion. Not only was this complex, but it was going to be a long fight, and even determining the extent of the damage was going to be quite a challenge.
Emil,
Yes.
Elaine was just telling me that the chairs
flying in this room and they broke the chandelier.
The chairs?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And look at this. That's thick 18 by 18 tiles.
Yeah, is that inch thick? Look at your burn mark coming out of that receptacle. That's crazy.
Which lets me know that the forced air, the forced smoke
right.
from downstairs
Came up
was
through the
coming
windows,
up, and
the
they
walls.
typically will come through the plates, either the receptacles or the switches,
That's new to me. I've never seen it, but it's a
which
great find.
means you have the toxins
Yes.
on the wiring,
Yeah.
and the wiring's got to be replaced.
Yes.
So on this claim, we have damaged 2 cars, 3 EV bikes, the entire house. But fortunately for our client, his boat was untouched.
Elaine and I appreciate you.
No problem.
Appreciate you more as the future unfolds.
We'll earn our
You know,
appreciation,
you'll
right?
earn your appreciation.
It's going to be a long, hard road, Gus.
Yeah,
I want to give
yeah.
you realistic expectations.
Yes,
It's
yes.
going to be a fight. It's going to be a long fight.
Yep.
The good news is we're going to be with you all the way to the end.
And we're not going to give up.
No, we're not.
No. Because
Don't
we
give me
have
up.
flood blaming wind, blaming 2 different storms,
Yeah.
blaming the car. It's going to be
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. So the next couple of things, you're going to be gone, but we'll be here with the adjuster. And then we
Okay.
also have the building contractor coming and we attorney coming
Okay.
to sort
You
things
got it.
out. So we will all be
Well,
in.
thank you very much.
You've
for
got our
helping
numbers.
us through
Call
this.
us if you've got any questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for your time. Good meeting you.
You guys take care.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This house is damaged from top to bottom. There is no question this is policy limits. Our client really needs Noble's help because without our help and without our expertise, he's not going to get the money he needs. So, oh look, there's Mo.
Oh, good.
It's like we know him or something.
Yes, let's go.
It's like we've even worked with him once or twice.
There's good old Mo.
Hey!
How you doing?
So I told you about the car exploding, right?
Yeah.
Did I mention what kind?
No.
Looks just like that, but without a wrap on it. It is exactly.
a Hummer?
It was a Hummer.
An electric Hummer.
Electric Hummer?
Yeah. So don't ride it through the salt water is all I have to say.
Wow. What a
Wow.
coincidence.
Yes, yes,
Well, it's the only reason we called you.
yes.
Oh,
Was-
okay.
We
Makes
obviously know,
sense,
you
yeah.
obviously know the
No other reason to
vehicles.
call me, really.
Yes.
Yeah. We've never worked with you before. So just to give you a quick rundown of why you're here.
Okay.
This is kind of preemptive, but we have Hurricane Helene, brought water in, 30 inches, exploded. We've got Hurricane Milton, roof, other damage, and then we have flood involved also. Then we also have GM.
Right.
And wind has already subrogated against GM. Of course, they won't tell us how much it is.
Confidential.
But we have everybody pointing at everybody else. So we may have to get you involved to straighten out
Yes, there we go.
all of everything.
I'm so glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's walk you through. The carrier has already subrogated with GM to get monies. Is there any way we can find out how much money they've settled for?
We can, but there's a few issues with that. Number one, I doubt they settled that fast because there's a lot of testing that has to happen. Who has the car right now?
So the insurance carrier picked it up and then they gave custody of it to GM.
Okay. In a subrogation claim, especially with something like that, there's going to be a lot of testing that's going to have to happen. Every manufacturer that ever touched that car is going to have to be put on notice, and there's going to be destructive testing that's going to happen to the car to find out the exact source of what caused it. And everyone's going to be, just like we saw, pointing the finger at each other.
Yeah.
So that's issue number one. Issue number two is the made whole doctrine. They can't subrogate until the insurer is actually made whole. He's clearly not made whole. So
That's interesting.
Yeah, the
It's
carrier.
so good to hear that perspective.
So this claim is really complicated. We've got 2 hurricanes, we have flood, we have wind, we have explosion, and we have everybody pointing the finger on everybody else. Part of what Mo is there for is to help us separate each and every one of those facets and get everything moving in the right direction.
with all this work going on, I'm concerned about them spoiling some of the evidence. And so we should probably get an engineer assigned to this property as soon as possible.
Okay.
That makes
We
sense.
can get that taken
makes
care
sense.
of. So
This side is open.
I see that
That's totaled out.
So they have to shore this up.
Yep.
Yes. You can see the flood line.
Oh yeah. It's about a little over 2 feet.
Yep, 30 inches-ish. So this is where the Hummer sat. And of course you can see where the sun's room is and the sky. And over here, Mo, we had 3 electric bikes. And so
You can see the blast.
And they caught fire.
they,
Yes.
they exploded and caught fire as well.
And so you can see the explosion all around. And this is chemical. You can smell it.
Should I park my car in here?
I was just going to say, wait, if we stand here, I think I can do little bunnies. Bunny foo-foo. Okay.
So everything starts here with the pressure going up, and I don't think we've discovered the extent of the damage yet.
Yeah.
No, but that's a lot of why we wanted to bring you in now. The homeowner is very comfortable. As soon as we get a dispute, it's probably going to be pushed off, and we recommended you. They're comfortable with that. I think you have the expertise for all the factions that are involved.
Yeah.
You know, as a public adjuster, we can push to get things paid for, but it's not our place in the legal realm to be dealing with people pointing fingers back and forth.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons we love working with you is our history with you. These things don't settle quickly, but you settle them in the end. And we really, you're one of the favorite folks we work with, and
Thank
you're
you.
one of our go-to lawyers, especially in this area.
I'm excited to see where this is going to go, where this takes us, and hopefully have the homeowner restored and restore his life and their life, because it's a beautiful home, it's a beautiful property, and it's a shame what happened to the car and to their home, and they just want peace of mind to restore their life.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you guys for
Mo.
calling me. Thank you for
Don.
reaching out. Look
Yeah.
forward to working with you again.
Yes. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too.
Be safe.
Thank you,
Thanks.
sir.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
So I love working with Mo on all of these claims. The communication's great, the results are great.
Yeah.
I'm so relieved.
Yeah, it's great having him on the team. I want to show you something around the back here that I saw when we were doing the inspection. We look around
it
here
be
where
the
the
huge
pillows
boat?
are. There's that boat. Yes, the boat. I love the boat. I want to show you
I'm
the
just
boat.
asking,
the boat,
you know,
the
for
boat.
totally personal
The
reasons.
boat.
So, Susan, tell me about this crazy claim I'm hearing about.
So, in the middle of the night, Hurricane Helene, this policyholder gets a call from OnStar. He's got one of those electric vehicles. they were told to evacuate and wouldn't tell our policyholder why, just told them to get out. They had gotten out of the bedrooms, they were in a main section of the house, and the vehicle blew up. You could hear it 8 blocks away.
8 blocks away? How do we know that?
Well, people talk.
All right.
So you drive by the house and you really don't know how bad it is.
So what's going on with the insurance company? They're not wanting to pay this guy?
They've sent him a little bit over half of his dwelling and not much of anything else. They've promised him the policy limits all the way across the board, and they're not delivering. But here's what worries me, Bo. The insurance company is whispering in his ear, almost to the point of tortoise interference. And I don't think he understands fully yet that the insurance company does not intend to just write him a check for everything. They've proven that. They've already sent him a check that is not everything.
Sounds like he needs to watch some episodes of Insurance Wars.
Yeah, no doubt. It would be very helpful because they are not his friend. You know, they're going to mitigate this every which way possible not to pay him, and he's just not seeing that.
You know what to do? Sounds like an interesting claim. I mean, just get Everest out there, have them do their thing, tweak anything on the estimate that needs to be done, get him to sign a proof of loss. Let's do what we do.
Okay. Emil and I are headed out there in a few minutes.
Sounds good. Okay. Anything else we need to talk about?
That's really about it I got right now.
All right. Well, you know what to do. All right.
Thanks.
Talk to you later, Susan.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
So we're headed out today for a reinspection, and we've got an ace up our sleeve. We're taking Everest and we're taking Justin. And you want to talk about somebody who can geek out on this kind of stuff? Justin's our man.
Justin from Everest is an interesting man. He's got an incredible eye for detail. And of course, that's why we bring him. It's great to have the engineer's signature on the paper. I'm excited to see what he can show us, because the more information we get together, the better we can present the claim to the insurance carrier.
So Justin, this could be very interesting. Here comes our adjuster, but they did not want to come to this at all.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this is a reinspection.
There may be a little bit of resistance, but we'll work with it.
Okay, well, let's see what we got.
Yes. Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon.
I'm Susan
Chester.
with Noble.
Justin, Everest Building
good to meet
Consultant.
I'm Emil.
Got it.
Good to meet you.
Great to meet you. I
So,
didn't know there'd be 4 of us out here today, but
Well.
it's not just my time being wasted.
Oh,
Okay.
all right, well,
sure.
I don't even know
Okay.
how to respond to that.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's
just
try and
head
use
on
the
in.
time constructively. What are you here for, Chester?
That's a good question. I've already written you a check. Not sure why you guys brought me back out here today.
Well, the whole reason is in the original walkthrough, the original adjuster promised policy limits all across the board, and we have Everest here as one of our authorities on the damage, and he's going to walk through and show you what's going on. But so far, we haven't gotten that check for policy limits across the board. We've only gotten about 50%. And as you can see, this house is big, and when you go in, we're going to show you there is a lot of damage here, a lot.
One of the variables in a claim like this is always going to be the insurance adjuster. When this adjuster stepped on site, it wasn't long before we realized it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, and that always makes it more complex than it needs to be.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, so
Ooh, that's bad.
That's bad. What do you see?
Well, we can clearly see broken trusses all the way through, and what looks to be an attempt at temporary shoring, but I wouldn't be too secure about that.
but they're not even shoring this side.
Well,
That's the side
there's a
that's
lot of
falling
sides
down.
that aren't being shored. I mean, you have a singular 2x4 holding up this hanger that's completely come apart. I mean, that's not
That's scary, isn't it?
It's scary enough that I'm not going to stand there.
And there's two kinds of reports that we need here, Chester. One is the report for shoring everything up and making it safe so everybody can work. And then the second one is the actual build back itself. So it's not as simple as just coming in and saying X, Y, and Z is broken, fix it.
Oh, no.
Does that make sense?
The homeowners had his construction guys in here, already have their hands on this. I'm not entirely sure what of this came from, this initial damage we're talking about, what they may have done while they were trying to
You
tear
didn't
things
just say
out.
that, did you?
Evidently he did.
Oh, come. Well, let's have a look on the side.
Chester, tell me, what kind of flood experience do you have to be calling this all flood?
Well, I'm not a flood guy.
Well, what do you mean you're not a flood guy? You've just been telling us this is flood related.
Not a flood guy. This guy's trying to push it off on flood, but he doesn't know anything about flood. This is an explosion.
Well, yes, because it's clear that this is flood related. You see the flood line here, right?
Well, hold on, Chester. No, so no matter what we're saying, you're going to say, no, it's not. It's not that it's flood. Is that where you're coming from?
Let's go.
If your argument is that this didn't start with a flood, then
No.
yes.
So we've already opened up coverage on explosion. They've already paid 50% out. We can't change
Yeah, you can't
what the
walk
coverage
backwards
is. You
on
can't
that.
walk backwards. So I would really like Justin to continue to quickly show him the different areas that we need to be concerned about.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to be a flood guy to be able to see that, you have these gusset plates right here that have completely torn off from the truss,
come look.
compromising its integrity, let alone the actual subfloor it's above it. You got broken truss and broken wall to truss connections all through, as well as signs of indicative of water damage and mold growth coming into the building. I mean, it's pretty evident that this was a result of a sudden blast.
So let's talk quickly about what's on the walls.
Oh, yeah, the
And
soot.
everywhere else.
Absolutely. I mean, you have a battery fire, you end up, or any type of fire, really, you end up with combustion byproducts. So basically what that means is that fire is creating different materials such as this soot that's just deposits that then, stain the wall as is.
And how far does that go up into the, I mean, we've got an opening here. Does that go into the rest of the house?
It goes through the entire house. I mean, it goes through any open space, especially if you have the HVAC
That is-
running.
yes.
Yeah, and then that can carry, potential contaminants, especially with a lithium-ion fire that can off-gas, different contaminants that are,
Does that
health
make
hazards.
sense, Chester?
That's
I'm not sure we're
that's
seeing
not
this in the
flood.
same way.
Well, let's keep
let's
going.
go upstairs.
So up here, you're not going to believe this damage. Over here on the right, we're not even comfortable walking in this room.
You had the demo team in here, obviously.
No, this is not demo. This is the way it looked after the explosion. It lifted those tiles up and set them back down again.
Don't want to be stepping on anything.
Well, you have to step
Now
on
this is
something,
demo,
otherwise you'll
obviously. This was the kitchen that's been demoed out today. Because all the cabinets lifted and all the granite on top cracked.
So you're telling me from that explosion, this whole kitchen needed to be replaced?
Yes, and if you'll look over here, you've also got all of those tiles that were lifted, tiles lifted
But I
over
want
here.
you to understand what Susan said. When it exploded, everything lifted, and then it fell down again.
So this adjuster pushes back on every single thing, and Emil's starting to get a little hot under the collar. So there was a huge bed in here, Chester.
Oh, wow.
Look at the ceiling.
The
When the ex-
bed
Go ahead.
hit the ceiling. That's how big the explosion was. So now think of how much power it took to raise that bed so hard that it damaged the ceiling.
I've never seen anything like that.
It's absolutely crazy.
And the guy had gotten out of the bed like 5 minutes before.
So
Go.
see that this flooring is all connected. That's why almost every tile, see that
Yeah.
there? Almost
These are all
every
hollow.
tile is damaged from the explosion because the pressure's got to give somewhere. See how this lifted from the explosion. The whole floor's compromised.
No, most of these tiles are still in good condition.
Now wait a minute, Chester, come here.
Clearly, this one isn't. You can
Sure,
see
they
it.
may be loose, but it's still fully intact.
So you think we could just repair this as is?
What, some duct tape? Is that what you're thinking? Some duct tape?
So the broken tiles over there, how are we supposed to match those?
I thought you said you're not a flood guy. You're not a building guy either. You obviously have no idea what you're doing.
What is your background in building?
Not in building either. It's not in construction. I've been working in adjusting for 2 years.
So you're not flood, you're not construction, and you're telling us how to do this.
Hey, I'm just telling you my job. You know,
Oh, I'm going to tell you your job. You want to pack your stuff and head on out of here? I'm not sure that you're going to represent this client the way I'm not sure you're going to represent our client the way it needs to be represented. Thank you for coming. Adios.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
That was harder than it needed to be.
Yes, but when you have an adjuster that comes in that is fully denying all of the damage that is so obvious, it's best to get them off the property as quickly as possible. We need to bring back people who are willing to actually look at what the damage is and deal with it. Justin is really good. A lot of building consultants are really good, but Justin seems to be able to take it to the next level. He can explain things in a way that even I understand, but it's funny because it doesn't appear that our adjuster understood. Well, that kind of went as expected, seeing as how getting him out here was twisting an arm and a
Well, it
leg.
didn't start well, did it?
No.
Justin,
Hey, we're happy to help.
good
This is
man. Thank you so
Of
much.
course. This is
Thank
what
you
we
so
do.
much.
This is a
I
case we
appreciate
want to
it.
take on with you.
Appreciate your
Absolutely.
expertise. I feel good having Justin on the team.
And again, this is like nothing I've ever seen before.
No, it's a new one for me too, but not for our experts. So call our office, get our experts out here,
Yep,
and we'll make sure
that's
that
the
we
next
get you
step.
taken
Sounds
care
good.
of.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
There comes a point where the value added by the insurance adjuster becomes a net negative. At that point, we realize it's not helping the claim, it's not helping our process, and it's certainly not helping the homeowner. So we asked him to pick up and to take his things and to head on out, because that was best for the client and for the process at the time.
This is exactly why they need Noble helping them, because without us, they would be totally taken advantage of. Very complicated claim. We're getting the roof money. We're getting the money for the house. The car carrier is kind of reimbursing some. So the complications are there, but they've been straightened out. And now the option's on the table for the homeowner to do what he thinks is best. Does he rebuild? Does he tear it down? Does he just pay off the mortgage and walk away? Those are all of the options that he has. So at the end of the day, Noble did everything possible that we could to show this claim in the most favorable light to the insurance carrier and show them what needs to be done and how they need to pay this claim.